Learn to listen when it's grown men talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Learn to listen when it's grown men talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Every discussion from experience, and hopefully within it delivers some deliverance. It's all facts and opinionated, from the west where that real spit originated. Brothers truly trying to save a soul, provoke thought so we can really designate a goal. We on that grown man scribble, the ball in our court with command on the dribble. This is something that'll help the show, cause it's something that'll help us grow. We see exactly what the people need. Now welcome to the show, Spitt'n Pollaseedz. Welcome to the show, Spitt'n Pollaseedz. Welcome to the show, Spitt'n Pollaseedz. Learn to listen when it's grown men talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Learn to listen when it's grown men talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Spitt'n Pollaseedz.
Spitt'n Pollaseedz.
Pollaseedz.
What up, people? What up, people? What up? Y'all know what time it
Hey
is.
man, Spitt'n Pollaseedz Day.
No, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's Wednesday.
Spitt'n Pollaseedz Day. It's 8 o'clock. Where your people at? They should be in front of some type of electronic device tuning in, especially women, because I know y'all definitely want to hear this topic tonight.
And if they not, you need to share this with them
Definitely.
and call them and make sure they watch it.
As a matter of fact, share right now. Share, subscribe,
Text
Share, subscribe,
like
all of that.
all that,
All of that.
man.
Come
all
on,
of
y'all.
that. Wherever you are,
Yep.
do it, please. We actually.
What's
Man,
up, man? What's up?
What's going on, fellas?
Well, we gonna say the title.
Trev look like he really want to say something. Trev,
'Cause I thought the new format we was gonna say the title. Was
Oh.
Trevor
I'm
is
waiting for
always
you guys to finish. What we're going to talk about is
just say the title.
men hurting.
Yeah.
Yeah. You asked me to say it, then you cut me off.
Whew.
The title of the day, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. The title of today's show is Men Hurt Too. It's a topic that's not oftentimes addressed. It's a topic that's sometimes swept under the rug. But we're going to discuss it here on Spitt'n Pollaseedz, and we're glad that you joined us, whether it be on your couch, in front of your computer, or even just screening on your TV. We appreciate you viewing, as well as if you
I would
like
ask
and
for
share
the
our
title.
content.
Title.
We would
Title,
love
yeah.
to share
For the
this show
title.
with. Go ahead, like and share, so another friend can hear. We're going to go around the room, and we're going to find out how some of the hosts' week has been thus far, or just in general, how they're doing. We're going to start off with Irvin. We're going to work our way around the room. Irvin, go ahead, please do us the honor of letting us know how you doing, man. What's going on with you?
Thank you guys. Real spit time.
Yeah,
It's
man,
over.
It's over.
It's over.
Yeah, you've taken
Good
all
Lord.
the time. I had a great week. I'll say that. You can, bro.
Some challenges, but you know how I feel about challenges. It's time to step up and knock them down. You?
You look great. I must say, man.
Oh, thank
I
you, thank you,
enjoy
thank
your entire ensemble. Well
Thank you.
coordinated.
Yeah, we these are at Swank. I think they're lowly priced Super 180 wool suits with a little cashmere, little tiny bit of cashmere there, just to throw it off a little bit.
Where is Swank?
Amen.
Where can we find those?
Swank is your men's haberdashery in Inglewood. It's on Manchester between 5th and 7th. It's your Melrose on Manchester. You won't miss it when you pass in there. You won't miss it. 2709 West Manchester Boulevard. If you happen to miss it.
Okay.
Nice.
On 5th and
Between
7th.
Between 5th and 7th.
Melrose on Manchester.
Melrose on Manchester.
All right.
I didn't do that. Everybody say, man, this should be over here on
Oh,
Melrose.
you should run with that, man.
Right.
Yeah, I just
That's a
do the
slogan.
hashtag.
That's a slogan.
What about you,
Definitely.
Trevor?
I've had a full week, and I'm peeling back the layers of the week. So I've been good. Thank you.
Yeah, I like that bracelet too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, with the
Is that
crown
a-
on
is
it.
that
Yeah,
that
Amen.
looked like a swank bracelet? Is that a swank?
yeah
bracelet?
it almost looks like it, but I have.
We're on the same page. We're on
Yeah,
the same page.
yeah.
And back to another
So-
well-groomed brother.
So is that a oink? That's on oink. That bracelet
Oink.
that you got on?
What is oink?
Man, the other man's store.
No.
Oh, okay.
And to find out how another well-groomed brother is, Kevin.
Thank you, brother.
Kevin, how was your
Appreciate it.
week?
Man, I
Or how
can't
have you
complain.
been?
I can't complain, bro. We
I want y'all
another
to
day.
pay attention to Kevin's frames because he won't have them long. Go ahead. I don't know, Keith, if you could zoom in tight on them frames because this is going to be the last time you'll see
See
him.
you, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
you
those.
got some nice ones on too.
No,
my
no, but
brother.
those are you stunting on me today. You're stunting on me.
You don't
Thank
like
you,
that
brother.
either.
Thank you.
Just know that.
Stunting
Do
on
not,
me.
do not like
Yeah,
that.
You know,
No, I like it.
No,
I
I'm
like
just
it.
saying you're gonna take those.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know,
gonna take-
yeah.
I'm
I
glad you
picked I
showed
picked
them to me.
these up over when I was in Europe.
Oh,
You
okay.
know,
Well,
you know how they say, you know.
Oh, up in
Yeah.
the ass.
Yeah.
Just about old up in the ass. Man, what?
Well, you know, like they say, do as the Romans do. In that case,
When in Rome,
there you go.
there you go.
So since Trev then gave you the long version of the title of the show, we just gonna jump right up in. Yeah.
Yeah. Who wants to get started first? I'm already hurting. I want to say men hurt too. We do have feelings. I think everybody knows that we have feelings, but it's just not publicized with society, and we're taught to be strong. You know, we made of dirt and we nothing pretty, and we supposed to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. And if you have anything about emotional intelligence, that weight of the world can crush a person. It may not crush a lot of people, but it could crush a person. And can I do just one thing? I want to give a shout out and my condolences
Yes.
to Ruth,
Our sister.
Shushu, because she lost her oldest daughter, and I just want to give a shout out to her.
Yes.
Our condolences go to the family, man. And
Man.
I'm just flabbergasted.
Our heart
Yeah,
definitely go out to you, sis.
yeah,
You know,
definitely.
and she tunes in and she watched the
Yeah,
show.
she's even called in, made comments, and to hear that, you know,
Man.
it touched my heart, you know, and my whole family is going through it with Ruth.
We love you, Shu.
Yeah. Love you, Shoo.
Yeah, condolences.
Yeah. But back to, you know, men, we're taught not to show our emotions, right?
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Go ahead. Because Kevin, one time, I love what Kevin said. Yeah, one show we did, he said, you got to cry in the car. But go ahead. What were you about to say?
The childhood situation where we're almost forced to have emotional suppression. Suppress your feelings, don't cry. And that also is a scar that can be swept under the rug.
Mhm.
And we sweep a lot of scars under the rug, and only when the time is convenient or right or involves emotion, that's when we snatch that scar off, and everybody's catching the blood. Everybody's feeling it. Everybody is feeling the wrath of hurts that may have been from your childhood and now in your subconscious, because you believe that you're strong. That emotional suppression that was forced upon you as a kid to not cry or to not express, that comes out in our later years as adults. So I think that also would require some therapy, and a lot of times we mask strength or even physical strength with we're strong emotionally, and those are two that are not the same.
Not at all. You know, there are many things that we hold in, not just things in relationships, not things that, I mean, I wrote down several things that just being a black man, we suppress, and they end up coming out a whole different way. Some of the things are death. Death. We suppress it. Depression.
Mm-hmm.
Divorce.
Yeah.
Debt. Devastation. Being a deadbeat.
Or labeled as such.
Exactly. I'm the stigma of being a deadbeat.
Man, these D's I don't like.
Yeah. Despair.
Oh man, he just keeping on with the D's. Come
Yeah.
on.
Well, let me get on out of those. And they create what they create is in black men is rage, resentment, and trauma.
So, how do you cope? How does one? What we might want to go? You want to go? Because I have a question. Because those are some great D's. I'm just gonna call them the D's
Yeah.
of dads.
Yeah.
Or if you're
The
not
D's
even
of
a dad.
dads. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think that it's not known that we go through a lot of depression or we're devastated by when we get divorced, that we
Yeah.
go through hard times. Most people
Yeah.
think we just dust it off and
Yeah.
get up and like we go through it.
Yeah. That's something we failed at because
Yeah.
we
Right.
attempted to
Yes.
go through some things and learn through some things and grow through some things and grow with people. And you don't only divorce your mate, you divorce the family.
Yes.
And it's looked upon as like there's shame that comes with
Yes.
something not actually working.
Yeah. Man.
And I think something that is not talked about a lot is men that create are so enraged or don't know how to handle their emotions. Men take their lives at a higher rate than women.
Really?
Behind relationships. It could be behind relationships,
Yeah.
feeling devastated and failure. They say the statistics is women attempt more, but men succeed more in suicide.
And when you say that and when you bring up relationships,
Mhm.
A lot of things that I just mentioned, they're layers.
Mm.
And then the relationship is just a place to where we as men want to be able to unload some of this stuff and have a safe place and a place
Yeah.
to live where we can take our capes off. When we get home, we can't even take our capes off in some of these situations in relationship. That's why they're so important that we get in the right type of relationship, somebody
Yes.
that can repair us
Yeah.
or patch us up when we get home and
Yeah.
help us to fight the world. I might as well just go right to the visual aid because it kind of
Goes into it.
where we are right now in this segment. Keith, can we load that visual aid? But why? But
we definitely have to find better coping mechanisms than just suppressing. Suppression, it just comes back up and rears its ugly head again.
Oh, absolutely.
I think there's a few ways that we attempt to let some of the anxiety out. It's called alexithymia, and suppressing
what?
alexithymia. It's alexithymia. Alexithymia. It's coding all the emotions, feelings, and the situations that happen to us, and just covering it because we're not allowed to express, or even it got to the point where therapy seemed as though, oh, you want to go see a quack, or you about to go see a shrink, or be labeled as with certain titles that are negative. And it was negative in our community, when counseling actually is the screw that if it's loose a little bit, it can relieve some pressure. Pressure will bust a pipe, and we're under a lot of it because of that. Not being able to express how you feel. And then in a relationship, you try to express it, but you can't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to talk
right,
to get the video
okay,
going.
that's
I'm
all
like,
good.
yeah.
No, we waiting on you to finish so we can start the video.
Because we are about our hearts the way you are about your bodies. I want to know, are you safe to love? I want to know, can I trust you with love? I want to know, if I tell you my secrets, will you respect me in the morning? Am I the only man in here? Where are my brothers at? I want to know, if if I tell you what it was really like to grow up in my house, will you not act funny when we go to the family reunion? Or will you sit up there with your lips all swole up and create a problem for me because you can't control your emotions? And I want to know that if I tell you what really happened in the house, will you, in a fit of anger, turn on me and use what I told you in a moment of weakness against me? Because if you do that, you're telling me that I cannot trust you. And you teach me to shut up. Every time you betray my trust, you seal in me another layer of silence. And when I scream, I die screaming, and you can't hear me, and you never know why I died, because you taught me not to talk to you when you use my talk against me. Emotions. You say we have no emotions, you haven't got a clue. We got emotions you never even saw.
Man.
We got screams you haven't heard. We got poetry that's never been written. We've got love shut up in our hearts and in our minds and in our guts, our bowels, our loins, that never reaches you. Because you cannot hear the language we speak.
Oh,
Man.
that ending was very powerful, because oftentimes when we try to share with a woman what we are going through or dealing with, or even a situation directly within the relationship, our logical words oftentimes fall on emotional ears, and that makes us not trust them because they interpret it differently. We have to understand how to speak emotion, but at what point are they going to be able to speak or hear logic? It becomes frustrating. Our logical words fall on emotional ears, it get twisted, and then hence the communication is broken down. Sometimes you even have to, during a conversation or debate or even a heated argument, okay, so what you saying? Like, I just said it simply. It's like, I just said it.
I think
and
it'll
they'll
be
interpret it different.
a good practice. Now that I'm listening to this, it'll be a good practice if we put a lot more emphasis on you hearing me at the beginning of the relationship and how I speak and how important this is. Just like we have to do research for the shows that we are preparing. Like if we had those conversations with some of the lessons that we're learning and doing our research, I think it lend more towards a healthier outcome when it comes to what we need in our mate as men.
So do you think? I think we as men also need to talk amongst each other as men. You know, sometimes certain things I don't even think you should be shared to,
with your mate.
You know, some things you need to talk to your
Right.
fellas about.
I get that.
You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? So we have to create safe spaces, and I hope this is one of those. Like we can confide in each other, express things with one another. When with some things,
Right.
I'm just saying that we have to create that as well, where we are there for each other. We're like, they always talk about grounding with my brothers. We understand. So it's not an emotional outrage that you're gonna get from another brother.
Right.
Yeah, that way some things never even make it to them because it's rectified prior to even making it to our mates.
Exactly.
That's
so I
good.
think that's healthy as well.
It is.
It is. Especially when you're around stoic gentlemen like these gentlemen here, you can get some sound and profound information.
Compton Ebony says, how can we make men feel more comfortable to express your most inner feelings?
I would I would think that once the woman that we're dealing with understands the kind of trauma that your man may be dealing with, because you have different types of trauma, whether it be acute, complex, things of those natures. Those different types of traumas, it can affect your relationship. Exposure to a single occurrence that has an effect on your growth, that would be an acute trauma. You have complex trauma where you see on a continuous basis.
What did she say? Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Once
Go ahead.
once you understand the kind of trauma that your man has been going through, then she has an idea of how to deal with you, because there's many situations that are unspeakable that happen to young men or little boys,
Mm.
and you have situations where kids have been either bullied. You have peer pressures to do some things that are just out of this world, and they jump on the bandwagon and get caught up or go to jail or things of that nature, like not having their father present. Once a woman knows who and how we're because unfortunately next week's
Can we
show, and
get
I don't
the
want to speak on it,
succinct version?
I don't want to speak on next week's show, but you got these little boys that see things happen to their mother, and that right there has an effect on their relationship with their girlfriend, because they may believe that that is love, how a woman wants to be loved, or things of that nature. They can grow up in an unhealthy environment and then want a relationship with you, and you don't understand or know what he's been through emotionally. So we really need to take the time to uh, find out how your man is, find out what he's been through, the sweet and the sours.
Yeah, that Ebony, or you can just not
Yeah,
you can
because
just not
I mean,
use some of
Ebony
the things that we've gone through, some of the
Against
negative
us,
things against us.
Yeah.
You can make a safe place for us to come and talk to you about
right.
whatever it is, and actually be involved in our day and wonder how our day was, and genuinely want to know how you can make our day better.
Right. Tap all the way in. I think a lot of women, we can start off talking or telling him, but then it becomes to, well, we go through X, Y, and Z. So it's like to a degree to where you want to be heard, but you don't want to listen, you know, and it's man, I commend every brother out there, man, because um the ones that haven't snapped, or the ones that just have so to speak jumped off the cliff, that continue to deal with it, because it's so much, I mean, from my childhood, and it's like a backpack. We just put it in our backpack, and we got to keep pushing.
For
Not
one, we have to survive in the
exactly.
streets to even
You-
make it back home to you to tell you this stuff.
right,
So
exactly.
don't discount what we go through on a
Man.
daily,
Yeah.
Because it's heavy, and it's to be a black
Man,
man in America. It's
That's
really
yeah,
it's really a thing. And then the phone lines are open right now. You guys can call in or text some of your comments, and we'll address those too, because
Yeah.
we would love to hear from you.
that's the main thing. I mean, I always say it's no harder job here on earth than being a black man.
It's traumatic. One of the
Excuse me.
one of the things that we don't even see or understand socially, other than a soldier, what to wear, whether it be their army fatigues, whether it be their civilian clothes or combat clothes. The only race of people that have to be concerned with what they're going to wear every single day is black men.
Right.
Am I going to have on my combat clothes? Am I going to be able to dress as a civilian? What color am I going to wear? Where am I going to go? I have to know the terrain before I get dressed every morning. And the only other people that do that are soldiers or people in the military. And that right there, believe it or not, is some form of anxiety and stress.
Greetings.
Let me ask you
Janelle.
this: where were you going today?
I was coming here.
He was coming to boot camp.
Okay.
Da-da.
Well,
Da-da.
to Kasha, to your statement.
Are you gonna let's read her
You
statement?
want to? Yeah, I was. Well, I was gonna throw it in there. But
Okay,
I
go
was
ahead.
just saying
Go
that.
ahead.
She says men have to be open, to be vulnerable, and not feel that they're being too soft. Well, to be honest with you, and correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen, is that the soft part comes from the woman. It's how you perceive us, or when we get to talking, it's like, because just like TD Jack said, is, are you going to use what I tell you against me? And I'm sure we all have been in a relationship to where that happened. Then we become names, and y'all know the names, but
Yeah.
yeah,
What's my favorite word?
yeah. So
Yeah. And it also comes with Kevin, it comes with being raised over, I say, the age we are, maybe over 35 years of programming.
Right.
Don't say nothing. You're hard, you're weak if you say this, you're weak if you feel these emotions. And it's just not the easiest thing to do, as the question that you asked. It's not an easy thing to do, but what will help in that is if you create an environment that's safe for us to express ourselves,
right,
and something be done about it.
Yeah.
Or something is said to make us feel like we are heard, and it's going to make a difference in our relationship.
Right.
Even the media and outside sources on a continuous basis, they perpetuate this evil, mean, harsh view of us, and they focus and they concentrate on us and our community, and that influences the views of us as men on a whole. But other nationalities are doing things, the same things, and even far worse. But the focal point is on us, and as a result, even when we watch the news, sometimes we'll watch the news, and I don't know if you guys do this, but you'll think to yourself, nah, we don't do that, or oop, I hope it ain't one of us. All those things feed into our subconscious on a regular basis, and society is constantly being fed this negative image of us. And I pray that this show, or whether it be how we look, how we speak, how we treat one another, that others see that, what, brothers ain't always like that. All brothers are not like that. All men are not. All black men. No. It's just what people choose, and that usually the hurt worse than the good feels good.
Yeah, and Janelle, excuse me. Some women are well groomed and tearing a man down, but not building him up. The lack is evident. So and that's true. It is. It's and that's what we've been going through ever since. I mean, hell, I don't, man.
Well, I would say that Mark preached a great sermon on Sunday. What he brought to light is that, like, relationships are at war.
Yeah.
Like, everybody is turning.
Yeah.
Everybody has an opinion on
Right.
what a relationship. All the social media, television, the news, relationships are under attack, especially black relationships. And you don't need no man, and then man, I don't need no woman, and so we are fighting those things daily.
Yeah,
I say a lot of times that black men and black women are disconnected. It's just like going and if I would go over there and pull a plug, the TV will go off, the show will go off.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much, I've been saying it like that for a while now.
Even the future, like,
right.
If a man approaches a woman in a nice way, he thirsty.
Yeah.
So you
got my own bottle
of
of water.
you slapping him in the face, so, which is disallowing him to even approach you.
Right.
Yeah, because everybody wants the bag.
Yeah.
If you ain't got a trinket that displays that you got the bag, most women are not gonna talk to you.
Man.
What do y'all think about that, ladies? Is this true?
Man.
There has to be something shiny attached to
it. It does.
I didn't really think.
I mean, there's trappings of success.
I wasn't looking for a lot of phone calls tonight.
Yeah.
Just
on
the strength.
They gonna call.
Please,
but
prove me
the
wrong.
main thing is that if a man has feelings, that doesn't mean that he's weak.
Right.
You know what I mean? It doesn't
nowhere near
mean that
if he expresses them, he's actually strong.
Yes, and it's the way you express them. Sometimes you all were talking about earlier when a man suppresses his feelings, and then you suppress it so long and you're pushing it down, and when it comes up, it ignites. It's like a volcano. it's erupting, and then you have no control over it.
I think that's why it's
That's the only reason why I
critical
said
to
that.
learn how to
So-
control it.
So we can get a
All
call.
right,
Let's take this
we got a
call.
caller.
Yes, sir.
Whoa.
Hello. Good afternoon, evening.
Hello.
What's your name and statement or comment?
My name is Leek, and that's Lique.
Okay,
Hey, Leak.
that's unique.
Yeah, that's very unique.
Leak.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Thank
Question
you
or
for
Question
calling.
or comment?
You're gonna have to.
turn
You're
your-
listening to the show.
Yeah, turn your.
behind you.
It's a
You're gonna have to
delay.
listen
So
to us on
Okay,
the
I'm
phone.
gonna turn my TV down.
Okay, there you go.
thank you for
Okay.
tuning in. Though.
I have a question.
Yes.
So okay, is that good?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So I'm a woman of, I think, around the same age as you gentlemen there. I have two sons who are in their 20s.
Mhm.
And I always taught my sons that anything they had to say to me, open dialogue, whatever you needed to talk to, if you felt like you needed to come to me, I'm listening to anything that you have to say. My youngest son, he went through a period of depression when COVID started,
Okay.
and he was in college.
That was a lot.
And he came to me one day, and he called me and he told me that he felt like he needed to see someone, that he needed to talk to somebody because he was feeling depressed. And I always felt like I put my boys in a position where they could do that with me.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But do you think that the younger generation are more open to expressing those feelings to women? Like, say, in my case, because I taught my boys to do that? Or do you think, being in an older generation where things weren't spoke about, that you may feel like women of a certain age, you're not able to approach that with them?
First of all, let me say I commend you on even making that, creating that platform and that place for them to come to you and express some things, and hopefully they will carry that practice on into their relationship and seek another environment in their mates to where they can express those things. But in my opinion, the generation today, they're a lot weaker. They are a lot less likely to express themselves because there are a lot more people affected by cyber bullies, where in our generation we would just turn the TV off or turn the device off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not really worry about it. So
Right.
I'm not making light of that. It's just that they're affected differently because I guess there's a lot of things that we stopped doing in raising this generation.
I would have
Yeah.
to. You want to say something? I would want to make mention that the most difficult part of it is probably the gender difference. I can understand you having that platform, and that's awesome. However, to speak to another man is almost like speaking to a crystal ball. He can also give them some advice that you may not even be able to be privy to or know about, and how to effectively communicate with that younger spirit. You have some things that a young man has to deal with, but an older generation can tell him how to deal with it. So when those two come together, you have the older generation or the older gentleman with some form of wisdom and take his new knowledge, and they come together to a happy medium. They'll be able to resolve and move forward with resolution. And that's what they're usually looking for. How do I solve this problem? And when you have a older gentleman, tell them that, or tell them what is truth based upon principles to move forward. When that younger generation uses those principles to function in today's world and society, especially with all this AI and technology and this false narrative of how it's supposed to be, they're able to govern themselves a little bit better. However, at least he has his mom as an outlet, but I would highly recommend him have a male mentor. The reason why I say a male is because A young man needs another man to give him a tour of life. He wants to know, even if you get on a boat, get on a ferry, buy a house, get an apartment, those are the things that your son wants. So now he needs another man to give him a tour of life, at least a cheat sheet. So now you have a man to give your son a tour, mentor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's the the breakdown version.
I hope
Oh.
I hope it makes sense to you. I'm sorry if I spoke too long, but I hope that makes sense to you because
Yeah, I hope you had a pencil and paper to take notes.
Yeah, no,
You
not,
can
not just a
rewind it.
pencil and paper, a pen seal.
Seal.
Yeah, a pen seal,
Seal.
a pen to seal
Seal
your
the-
thoughts.
right.
boom! Look at you, boy. Now your inner chi is coming out, my brother. Your inner chi is coming out. Your chakra. I hope that helped. But you can also
definitely-
rewind
if
the show.
if I can make just one suggestion, because he gave a plethora of things that you probably already are milling through. If you getting him help, I would be like culturally sensitive in the help you choose to get him. If that makes sense, if he's African American, find a therapist that
African
can.
American.
Yes, exactly. Because getting someone, another culture to understand what he may be going through as a young black male can be a daunting task.
They don't know. Let's just
No.
put it out
Right,
there.
right.
Like I said in the
And I
like I said in the
understand
earlier show, they can't even empathize with our joy.
Right. Nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
So I
And
would
I
suggest
understand
that.
what you're saying about him being able to speak to another man. I do get that because there are things that that another man can say to my son that I probably, would have no idea what to say about. But, just I still have that open dialogue, but
Right.
I do understand what you're saying.
But at least
about
you're in tune with
meeting
him
a
to
man.
even.
Exactly.
At least
Yeah.
you're in tune with him. So it starts with that.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a man to do it, like just the right man
Right.
matters,
Right.
not
That's
just
very
any
important.
man.
The
You know
right
what I
man.
mean? The right man.
Just don't go
Right.
find Pookie or Ray Ray off
Right.
the
Yeah.
corner and just hey,
Yeah.
go
Find
hang
a,
out with them.
find a man. Find
Yeah.
a man, not a male.
Yeah.
But we
Right.
we thank you for doing what you
Thank
do,
you.
and we thank
Appreciate
you
your
for
call.
you tuning in, your calling in, and your commenting and question, everything.
Thank you.
Thank
You guys have a good night.
Thank you.
too.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
That was good.
I guess I'm the designated reader tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Janelle said, "What? I'm not raising my children with the modern day tradition, so-called values. It's a joke, and a lot of it is just the stuff that we
Whether she
see.
does it or not,
Right,
Mhm.
they're exposed to
right,
modern
and
day.
that's
So
the
yeah.
thing,
so
yeah.
if you don't raise them that and they don't feel like they have a place to share some of the things that they go through on the daily, because a lot of stuff we don't have a clue of what
Yeah.
they go through
Right,
nowadays.
Yeah.
So even if you don't, and I feel you 100%. Like I instill in mine's traditional values and substance, but I still have to be open to what's being they're being exposed to nowadays, and at least having an environment to where they can have a conversation with me
Right.
about it. And I am learning some of those things just based off the industry I'm in. I have to pay attention to some of those things that they go through. But
and then too,
Yeah.
also, having other solid men around, because they may not, you got young men, they may not tell you everything or come and ask you, but if you got other solid men that they trust and they look at as an uncle or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
that also help, because it really do take a village. I know sometimes when I walk through the house and Kevin Kier may be in the living room, they talking, they hear me come and they get quiet, but I let them go on and have a moment,
Mhm.
because I come back, later or
Yeah.
before they leave the house the next day, because I talk, like I tell them, I'm gonna talk until God remove the breath from my, the air from my lungs. So you gonna hear me.
But like you said,
regardless.
it's important to have a village because, like my nephews, their dad can talk to them till they blue in the face, but some
Exactly.
things like they gravitate more
Right.
towards me for,
Exactly.
and you know, I'm glad he trusts me to
Right.
give them some solid and
Right.
sound advice, and I know I have a different edge than he does.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I think
get
that
that.
comes from, your children feel like he just always getting on me.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
You know what I mean? Shit,
Absolutely. Yeah.
I can't get enough. He just talked to me crazy
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
time.
Definitely.
I'm just used to it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
my fun uncle, when
Yeah.
he tell
Right.
me this,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
And
Yeah.
that's
And it's
yeah.
just
I'm
it's just how
listening to it
you
differently.
how
I
you
get
put
that.
it.
I get that
Yeah.
often.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
of course, with the field that I'm in,
What the talking a lot to
barbering.
him? Or-
Yes,
yeah,
I
I know
speak
you
to.
do.
I
Yeah.
do. I do.
You spit to 'em.
I definitely do. I definitely do. I say the barbershop is my church and that chair is my altar. And it'll be some young men that come in on a regular basis. I may not be the best barber on earth, but I'm pretty close, I think. But I think a lot of it has to do with understanding our altar. So if Swank is your church,
We get it.
and you have your
What's the name of
your
the
altar,
altar? Yeah,
Yeah.
go
you
ahead.
have the opportunity to hear from younger men that you are preparing to present themselves out into this world, and the mental aspect, the mental contribution into the spirits of whether it be through comedy or through music. It is our duty to display or help someone display the best them that is within.
I think the best way you can do that, of course, is by living a life because oftentimes people will preach a certain thing
Yeah.
and they're not living a life. I think we learn by example. Like I watched my dad, my
Success leaves
grandfather,
clues.
and I'm always looking at them.
Mhm.
Even when I was little. So certain things they do, you naturally pick up
Pick
on
up.
it.
Yeah.
And certain things, let's just be honest, they're influenced by some
Right.
things.
Yeah.
If you have the things that they're
They're
influenced by,
Yeah.
they're gonna listen to you.
Yeah.
Yes. Because it's no way like you can. I mean, we didn't have the internet that
Yeah.
much when we were
Right.
growing up.
Oh yeah.
So
boy, but now
they got the phones. They could take their
Everything.
phone in their room
Right.
and everything like that.
Yeah.
It's
The room was a punishment growing up.
yeah.
Right.
Now they want to go
They,
to it.
now half the time
Yeah.
they don't even come out the room.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
even want to come out the room.
Yeah.
But I'm more interested in how do we create a safer space for men to express their feelings without being bombarded with you a punk or a sissy or you know I think there's ways to express your feelings without coming across that way, right?
Right.
yeah.
We could still be men and be like, nah, I didn't like the way logically that didn't even come out right. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? I shouldn't even have done that. I was talking to my son the other day. Well, I told him, hey man, people are gonna treat you the way you treat them. Because if you want to be hard with everybody, everything is an argument.
That's what you're gonna get.
That's
I'm
what
trying to
you're
figure
gonna
out
get
like
back in
where is
return.
this rage coming from?
Yeah.
That's what you're gonna get, or you're not gonna get the other people to even pay you attention. They're not even gonna want to be around you.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be forced to deal with hard heads.
Yeah. So it's we have to be. I like to use the word calm and collective because as men we should be that anyway. But I think when you're just expressing yourself emotionally, you don't have to be what society says you have to be when you're expressing emotions.
And I think you said create that room.
Yeah.
And I mean that to, fellas, we need that time to hang out.
Yes.
If we don't
Mhm.
create the room itself,
Yeah.
hang out also. And then like you said with your nephew, with my boys, your son, those are moments that where we can tap in. They can get, how we see things. And then we can also get a better understanding on how they see things.
Maybe we need to create a forum to where we got together maybe every
Exactly.
quarter, and I like that even that title, create the room.
Right.
But we create an environment and we let them know, look, man, we ain't no punks.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, look, this is what we was doing.
Right.
Yeah.
So what we're telling you is because we've gone through that.
Yeah.
And we know a better way to deal with it. But
Right.
when they really know what we about, or what you about, or what you did, or what we some of the things, like, we have to show them our scars.
Right.
Yeah.
And explain to them, look, I got this because this, or I ain't always been. I've been to jail. I've done this. I've experienced that.
Right.
I've gotten caught.
Yeah.
So it's not foreign when I'm telling them something and they think, he just don't know.
Yeah.
Tyrone,
And that's crazy.
Real quick, said it's hard to express without passion because it's so damn hard to be heard.
Well, I think if some people think like they're not even in a passionate relationship unless it's yelling and fighting
Right.
amongst them. I'm real cool with mine. You would have to really know me if my voice octave goes up a couple levels or down a couple of levels. My passion is expressed differently.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
everybody's passion is expressed
Expressed
differently.
Mhm.
Sometimes I think when men are being raised by, and nothing against the women, that they express themselves in a more emotional manner, because that's what you see.
I would disengage. That's when you should.
That's me.
Okay.
I'll shut down.
Yeah. So how do you do it? I was telling my son this the other day. How do you express yourself in a way that somebody wants to listen? Because if you're yelling at someone, they don't want to listen to that.
They're not hearing anything you
I would
saying.
think before they do that, they have to address the issue of anger. You can't fix a problem if you don't first identify it. So whether it's first working out, going to the gym, lifting weights, walking and running, get all that negative energy out of you and let it go towards something constructive, and then speak and express it with someone else that is willing to listen.
So those are good things to exert energy, but I feel like a person can do it within themselves, right? You don't have to be, I'm mad, I got to be like this.
Yeah.
You could teach yourself to be like, I don't even like that. Say it with a smile. I do that often, and sometimes it backfires because they would be like, "What you laughing at?" I'm not laughing at you.
Yeah.
I'm just.
I'm laughing because I'm grown.
Right.
I've
Exactly.
grown because normally I would be over there.
Right.
Yeah.
Man said I think he was saying black boys suicide rate hasn't ever been rate as it now as of now.
Have now. Yeah.
Right.
No, that's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true. And that's something that needs to be dealt with.
Right.
I don't know if they're just finding ways to quit or finding ways to, because I could say I clearly have never thought about that. So I don't understand the pain and anguish, the turmoil you have to go through to get to that point where you don't want to be on this planet anymore. I think it was drilled in me, like, if you do that, you're going straight to hell.
Right.
That
and all
kept,
of us, we all heard
that kept that
right away
from like, well,
I
ain't going there.
Hell, I'm in hell now.
Yeah. So and I think and especially with black boys, there's so many things that you could help with black boys, and this is the whole part of this program, is to help with black boys and little boys that could see themselves in one of these gentlemen on the that host the show, to help them say, hey, no, you don't have to go that route.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to do that. And for the mothers that are dealing with black boys, you have to get them around some gentlemen like this.
And I'm gonna put a challenge not just to us, because what you're saying and Kanuma said, but the men that watch us every week. We need to seek and make that room available.
Create the room.
Create it.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody is on board. I mean, that's something that I believe that will help, because if we don't take care of one another, how do we expect someone else to? And then I forget who it was that stated that she also agreed that the disconnect, but how do we get that back? And even a room for that,
What you talking
with
about, male
black
and
men,
females?
yeah, with black men and
That's
black
a
women. And I know it, but
it's
the
a whole
thing
lot.
is, it would be. But can you imagine if w- us, because an hour is not enough time to
Yeah,
as I was
address it.
as I was trying to lean forward to earlier, because I get in contact with so many young men, little boys, as well as mothers that are dealing with issues with their children, and they want to share, they want to get it off, they want to express it. I am every day hands on speaking to males that have gone through trauma, dealing with certain situations, don't understand or have clarity. So
We have
is
it's
that a caller?
critical.
yeah,
Okay, we
Not
have a
cutting you
caller,
off,
ladies and
but
gentlemen.
I didn't hear the ring. Hello.
okay.
Hey,
Turn down the
I'm
show in the
calling in
background.
Can you? Yeah.
support of the show. I just thought I'd call in and support you guys. Thank you, and just opine on this topic.
Okay.
Thank you,
Your
brother.
name?
Your name?
This is Man calling from
Oh,
Man's
okay.
World Keep Group. Fan of the group, fan of the show. Got my own live stream going from time to time.
Thank you, brother.
But I
Thank you, man.
wanted to tell y'all that Michael Basin had a book a couple of years ago. It's talking about men crying in the dark, and that's one thing we don't talk. If black men are honest, and we talk about the time when you stop being your mama's favorite to don't cry, you a man now, till you get to the point where you try to explain woman how you feel, and you get the shame, insult, guilt, neglect, and need to be right. Like,
Yeah.
who hurt you,
Mhm.
boo?
Mm-hmm.
When will men ever get an opportunity to be vulnerable? Why do you think these cats are on edge all the time, on the verge of killing each other?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
We're not
agree.
meant to be that. We're not
Right.
meant to have that, and we don't have no outlet. So I applaud you, brothers, for opening up this space.
And
I'm a
Thank you, brother.
proud advocate
Thank
for
you.
men's health, and my name is Man. I'm a masculinist. They
Right.
don't know what to do with me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They don't
That's
know what
right.
to do with me, so I'm gonna be here. I'm just
That's
wanted
right.
to speak in and get my part.
And you know what? We appreciate you calling, and
Yeah,
just
definitely.
like, and we would definitely. This is something we gonna do. This is coming from us. We're going to create this room, this space, and so, and we would definitely be letting our audience and our family and everybody know when we can do this, because it's just like what Trevor said. But that's a lot that he's taken home with him
Right.
when them young boys or young adult men come
Mhm.
in and they dump all of that on him. And I get the same thing, Trev. So let's create a space. Let's create a room to where we really can make this happen, because I really believe that it would help. And then if these young dudes hear our stories,
Mhm.
because like I say, I didn't raise my sons up to, man, you bet not cry. I let them, I told them, man, get that out. They seen me cry. I think like the passing of my mom,
But
that was the first
not to
time
cut
they
you out,
seen. Yeah, go ahead.
what we are allowing a man to become our human doings and not human beings.
Right.
We only allow it to exist as long as if we serve a purpose. If we are able to provide for this one. Even now, 55% of black men don't even have kids. And they're talking about what black men need to be doing for their community. When all the records show that black men are the most involved in their kids' lives.
Right.
Yeah,
So
there's
black
Yeah,
men
new
are not
studies.
definitely.
involved taking care of your kids because
Definitely.
they're taking care of their own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Man,
Yeah.
we
They take
appreciate.
care of your own, but we still not doing enough.
Right.
It's not us.
Right.
When we gonna start saying that and own it? It's not us.
Right.
Mm.
Exactly. And we definitely.
We make the difference.
Yeah.
Black single fathers' kids do just as well as married couples' fathers.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Definitely.
Everything
that
I
is a
say, y'all know
study.
it's true, but we can't say it in group circles because we'll be excoriated.
Yeah.
When
No,
they tell you watch who you can't correct, and you realize who rules you. Black men need to take a stand. We've been done wrong, and we
Yeah.
need to speak our truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
That's
appreciate
true.
you, brother.
We
man.
dance
And
Yeah.
that's a part of the
Hell
show.
yeah.
Thank you,
too.
man.
we've actually talked about that,
Right.
like how a single father that raises a child is just as does just as
As
well as
well.
a two-parent household.
Right.
You know.
So we'll definitely be letting you know, man, and we would definitely want you to be a part of it, be in that room, in that space, man.
And yeah, man, thank you
You
for
guys,
tuning in and
I'm here to
calling.
Thank you for
support you
calling.
guys, brothers.
Thank
I
you,
like what
brother.
y'all doing.
Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
appreciate you.
Can
Talk
you
to
put that
peace.
comment back up from Tyrone? I wanted to read what he said.
Well, I want to give like women, because I know it's a lot of women that are raising black boys on their own. There's so much literature out there that can kind of tend to you or help you recognize what they're going through. One of the great authors is Jawanza Kunjufu. If you just Google him, he has
Say
a
it one
lot
more
of
time, brother.
Jawanza
Yeah.
Kunjufu.
Kunjufu.
I'll probably butcher his name if
Yeah,
I
just
try
like
to
food.
spell it.
That's
But
food.
I'll leave
That
it in
made
the
me want some
comments later.
Chinese food.
He said the
I'm
Chinese
hungry.
food.
But real quick, the reason I tapped in today is because I need men like you all around me while I'm going through this journey I'm on. Growing up, being in Trail Shop every weekend grew me into a gentleman, and I thank you. And that's what I'm saying, man. And
Thank you, man.
Commend you.
yeah,
bro.
we
Thank you, man.
definitely have to, because just you um putting that there and letting you need men like us, to be around you. That and it's our job. It's our job, bruh.
I had a friend that came in the store today. He said, "Man, when y'all gonna hang out again? I just need some testosterone energy around me
See what I'm
because he has a
saying?
wife and a daughter.
Right.
So
Yeah.
he just we
Yeah.
need that.
Yeah, that's
We need
like
that.
Keith. He has a
Yeah.
wife and two daughters. I know he wanna,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's something we definitely I would love for us to create and start doing, man.
I think this very platform's mission statement is to do that. I think
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
are
it
doing
is.
it.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
Yes, definitely.
when gentlemen call in, we appreciate definitely the women, but when brothers call in and when brothers communicate with us via whether it be in the chat, I think that's also an example of we are doing our part. We are doing our small part. So that's why I oftentimes say, please like and share so someone else can hear, because those words can feed your spirits and feed the
Definitely.
Yeah,
spirits
they
of the
feel
community.
comfortable talking to you because you wear pants like their mother.
Oh,
So
damn.
I think
yeah,
that's a segue to real spit.
Damn.
I think we should go
Come
right
on,
to
come
real
on,
spit.
Like
man.
their mother?
Kev, you see
Well,
the
those-
you see the
like their mother?
You see the material on the those look like
No,
blouses,
dude,
but
dude,
they just
dude,
got legs on
Dude,
them.
I might come in here and mess with a whole polyester leisure suit if I feel like
That's
it.
thin polyester. I ain't
Man,
never seen them
I
cut
would,
that
I
thin.
would come in here with some thick polyester then. My wardrobe.
Are we
All right,
ready?
bro.
Goodness.
Yeah,
Are we gonna tell you?
Oh,
Talk
next
about
week.
next week's show.
yeah. Next week's show. Who's protecting our black women? That's the title. Who's protecting our black women? Thank you for this show tonight, and
Yes.
to end Black Men
Mental health.
Mental Health
Mental
Month,
Month.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a great.
I mean,
subject
I
to
know
end on.
nobody ever didn't know that.
Yeah.
We mentioned it last week,
Right.
Yeah.
but yeah, that's how much men are thought about.
Yeah.
This is the real spit version of
Go
the
ahead,
show.
Pants.
This is the this is the real spit version of the show. I gotta make it brief. So what I'll end it with is a quick little story. There was a couple, a husband and wife, but for the sake of the show and our community, let's just say there was a community. There were three men standing outside on the lawn of this, let's say, home, and one asked, "Why have you guys been out there for so long?" One guy said, they said their names. One was wealth. One was wealth. One was love, and the other one was success. And if you invite us in, if you invite one of us in, the rest has to come in also. So they discussed it amongst themselves in that community, and they said, "Okay, let's invite wealth." So they allowed wealth to come into the house, but they said, "But we thought that you said if one comes in, the other ones have to come in." So he went back outside. So they invited Success to come in. Success came in and said, but wait a minute, you guys told us that if we invited one, then the rest of you would come in. So lastly, they invited Love. When they invited Love in, Success and Wealth came with them. And they said, wait a minute, why did you come in and said, I'm the one? Love. When we learn to love each other the way we need to be loved, our community, our homes, our streets, our neighborhoods will have wealth and success. So until next week, we pray for love for our community so that we can receive the wealth and success that we rightfully deserve and put ourselves in this community where we rightfully belong. Till next week, thank you for watching Spitt'n Pollaseedz.
See y'all comments. We definitely agree, and it's going to happen.
Now I see why you wore those pants.
Yeah, it came into the room. This bumblebee over here. What's the name of that movie? These is over here.